Perfect. So we're back on. Excellent. I just switched phones. Okay, the books. Three Magic Words by U.S. Anderson. I will post them on my profile as well. Three Magic Words by U.S. Anderson. Free on YouTube. The Impersonal Life by Joseph Banner. Also free on YouTube. The Emerald Tablets by Thought the Atlantean with the translation of Dorial. So the Emerald Tablets, put the name Dorial. Also free on YouTube. The Kabbalion, also free on YouTube. And the fifth book that I mentioned that talks about the raising of the sacred secretion is by Dr. George W. Carey, Cerey, and it's called God, Man, the Word Made Flesh. Also free on YouTube. And I was saying that all of these books came to me by chance, if there is a such thing, but there is no such thing. Exactly when I needed them the most. Do you see how beautiful God works? So let me know, you guys, if you have, I've been talking for a whole hour, which is a lot. So I want to hear you. I want to hear if you have any questions about the Hermetic principles, the mentalist, the way, and I will tell you, I'm sweating here. I get a little excited at times. You can tell, right? I'm excited. What can I say? Okay, let me clean up my glasses because my sweat got my glasses all foggy. Oh my goodness. Well, all right. This was a little intermission. Chris, thank you. Do you believe in a creator apart from one's self? I don't believe in anything. I am not a believer. The only thing I ever speak of is what I know. And I met God, and therefore I don't believe in God because I know God. So the creator, right? The creator is... Now, okay, so now let's talk about the first principle of the Hermetic philosophy. The principle of mentalism. So if you want to listen to 1,000-year-old philosophy or science, the all is considered the creator. The all is mind. This is the first principle of the Kabbalion, of the Hermetic philosophy. The all is mind. The universe is mental, which means your mind is part of the all, the entire mind. Your mind is the part of God. When it says in the Bible that we are created in the image of God, that is what it's referring to. In other words, our mind is God's mind, and God created us through the power of his own mind, which means we create through the power of our own mind. You see? Does it make sense? Creative Mind by Ernest Holmes. Exactly. The Magic Word, Three Magic Words by U.S. Anderson. Are these oh yeah, but these teachings are way before the Bible. Way before the Bible. Way before Christianity. In fact, a lot of the teachings from the Christianity come from this. A lot of the teachings from the Quran come from this. See, what happens is, and this is what thought will tell you in the Emerald Tablets, that there will be a time where all this wisdom will be hijacked by a dark brotherhood. Who? The Sadducees and the Pharisees, right? Who are going to take this wisdom and are going to transform it into a tool for control, to control humanity. Look, people look at money as the root of all evil, right? Money is just energy. but what you do with it could be the root of all evil. Wisdom, this is called occult. This is considered occult, as in hidden knowledge. Some people fear it. Why? Because other people took this wisdom and they are using it to control others. You see? Exactly the way you take money and use it for malicious things. You can take this wisdom and use it for malicious things to control people's minds. Do you see? Swipe right to filter comments. Oh, cool. I can see the comments now. Okay, let's see. Do you believe we are a collective consciousness? Yes, we are. Okay, hit me with questions. Yes, we are. We are an infinite, eternal consciousness, and we are never born and we never die. It's so hard to deprogram from Christianity and not be fearful. Well, see, this is the biggest contradiction possible, because love and fear cannot coexist. And this is one of the reasons why I left church when I was 14 years old, because they were trying to put fear into me. At the same time, they were telling me that God loves me. It can't happen. You cannot serve two masters. This is the biggest contradiction possible. You cannot serve two masters. So you either love or you fear, one or the other. So if you love God, you love yourself. What did Jesus say? Love thy Father as you love thy Father, thy God, with all thy mind, thy heart, thy soul, and then love thy neighbor as you love yourself. Okay, let's flash back to love thy neighbor as you love yourself. Yeah? How do you love your neighbor if you don't love yourself? That means it all starts with loving yourself. What led me to my path? I went through a divorce in 2019. I went through hypothyroidism in 2017. That was my first awakening. My second awakening is 2019, when I got a divorce and my whole concept of life shook. And then end of 2019, when I woke up asking myself who I am, and I realized that I've been more someone that somebody else wanted me to be than someone I wanted to be. And that's when I realized that my entire life, everything that ever happened in my life, all my failed relationships, all my failed businesses, whatever, although I've been very successful in business, but as far as relationship is concerned, I can say that I've had some failures, right? Even though I've been married for 18 years, but still, it was a failure. I considered it a failure, but I realized that as I was tempted to blame other people for my misfortune, I was in fact the common denominator in all my failed relationships. And after I went to Costa Rica at Rhythmia, and I did 4 ayahuasca ceremonies in January of 2020, and that's when I realized that I learned about trauma, childhood trauma, and subconscious programming. And that's when I realized, oh, it's all in our mind. And that's how I started my healing journey. And then everything just started to unravel. It kept on coming and it kept on coming. There is something that I want to share with you guys. Whenever you decide to stay the course of being in the presence of God and accepting the presence of God within you, and every single time you make one step towards God, God will make 10 steps towards you. Okay, I'm afraid of dying? No, absolutely not. I'm not afraid at all. I much rather not die, specifically right now, because I still have my mother to look after and I still have my dog. But I'm not afraid. We don't die. The only thing that dies is our body or decomposes, but we don't die. The soul, I'm not the body. I already made peace with this concept. We're not the body. We are the soul that is inside of us. You see, it's like a hand that goes into a glove. The glove is the body and the hand is the soul. How do you manage the third world of work and staying true to the work we do but not get mad and stay? Don't think I understand very clearly what the meaning of the question is. How do you manage? Okay, so I'll tell you a little story, for example, and this is why, because we're talking about the Hermetic principles. Let's talk about real quick a principle called polarity, right? So Principle of polarity means that there's two sides to everything. There's two sides to every coin. There's two sides to every story. Everything, but they're one and the same story. They're one and the same coin. You know, hot and cold. They're two sides, two ends of the same spectrum, the same category, right? Which is, you know, temperature. Light and dark. They're two ends of the same thing, right? So whenever you are at one of the poles, especially at the negative pole, the only way you can get out of that place, so whenever you're mad, whenever you're angry, and you have to always counter it with something of the same category. So I'll give you an example. I was walking my dog in my neighborhood. Everything I moved in this house 5 years ago, I don't have a huge backyard, so I had to walk my dogs every day. So I would walk my dogs, and I had 2 pit bulls. Now I only have 1. And I constantly run into other people with their dogs. So as I'm running into other people with their dogs, every single time, I promise you, every single time, it was only me that had to cross the road to, you know, avoid encounter, because I prefer not to meet other dogs, because I don't know what kind of dogs they are, and I don't want to start something that I feel sorry about later. So in my mind, I was getting increasingly aggravated by the time and by the fact that why is it that only me I have to cross the road, and why isn't everybody respecting? Why can't we just take turns? I've been like people who I repeatedly crossed the road, but they never did. And I was so frustrated, and I was so mad, and I realized that my frequency was getting lower and lower, and I just couldn't seem to get it together. And then one day it dawned on me. Use the principle of polarity. The principle of polarity says beat a lower force with a higher force of the same category. So if you imagine these two poles, these two emotions on a scale, right? And let's say somewhere here is in the middle. You want to be in the middle. You always want to be in the middle. You always want to be at center, at peace, at zen, because this is who you are. But I was here in the low part. I was negative. I was pissed off. I was frustrated. I was annoyed. And I said to myself, do you want to get in the middle? I said, yes. Okay, then the only way you can counter this negative energy is to come to past the middle, because it's mathematics. Minus, plus the same amount brings you to 0, right? Think mathematics. Everything is mathematics. So I have to take this energy, this pissed off energy, and how do I do it? I go exaggerated on the positive end. So what I did was, oh man, I can't wait to take my dogs for a walk today. I took my dogs for a walk. The first person who showed up with this tiny little rascal, and I could see that they almost wanted to cross the street, and I'm like, no, I got it. I immediately crossed the street and I waved at them, even though before that same person, I never waved at them because I was just so pissed off, and I'm like, I'm just not gonna even look at you. And guess what, guys? That moment was so liberating, was so beautiful within my body. Something happened within me where I said, that's it. That's what you do. I had a tenant, I have 2 Airbnbs, and I had a tenant who really made a mess, And then anyways, I'm not going to go into detail. The point is that I was really pissed off, and they even sent me a message that, oh, the air conditioner broke in the beginning of the day, and they never said anything. I would have fixed it, whatever. And I'm like, okay, this is annoying. I was afraid that I'm going to get bad ratings and blah, 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 because, I had to, keep my numbers high. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? And I was just eaten up from inside. I was in so much pain. And then I said, oh, Hermetic principles, polarity. I'm pissed off right now. I'm annoyed. I'm angry. I know I'm in the right. I have pictures of what they did. But I am not going to treat them the way they expect to be treated. I moved to the other pole, the opposite pole. And I sent them a message, and I said, I am very sorry that you had a bad experience with the air conditioner. I'm going to go ahead and give you $100 credit. Oh, thank you so much. They didn't expect it. They thought I'm going to report them to Airbnb and all that stuff. None of that happened. But guess what? The idea in life is, what is more important to you, to be happy or to be right? To me, my own happiness. I don't have to be right. I know if I'm right or wrong. I know it. I'm the first one to admit it. So the moment I let go, of the need to be right. I was in so much peace. I was in so much joy. So now this is another principle at work. Surrender. Do you speak Spanish? Un poquito, pero comprendo mucho. I am Romanian. My first language is Romanian. I speak French fluently. I speak a little Italian and a little Spanish. Can you show me the book again? What I'm going to do, Dilek, the only two books that I can show you are this one and this one, the Emerald Tablets and the Kabbalion. These are the only books that I'm showing you right now, but if you look through comments, you will find the names of the other books, and all of these books that I told you about tonight, you can find them on YouTube for free. Bonjour. Bonjour, ma chérie. What is ultimate truth? Ultimate truth? You are God. You and God, you and the Father are one. And you're here to have a good time because God created us through the power of his imagination. When I say he, please remember, it's not a person, it's not a being, it's just an energy. God wanted to express himself in physical form because God can't have any other emotion than bliss, you guys. Think about it. That could be rather boring, huh? But God wanted to smell the coffee. God wanted to dance, to sing, to eat chocolate, strawberries, to smell the inside of a puppy's ear. That's my favorite way to think of God. God wanted a hug. God wanted to kiss. God wanted to make love. God wanted to experience all the wonderful things that we experience on a daily basis, you guys. I mean, think about it. Think about it. We get to do this. That's what God wanted. There's no school here. There's no lessons here. There's no nothing. All we have to do is to let go of fear. All fear. Everything is fear. All the anger that you're carrying is fear of not being loved. And you know how you get rid of fear? The best way to get rid of fear is to find love for yourself. Because everything stems from the fear of not being loved. Guess what? If you give yourself the love that you need, you don't need it from anybody else. So why should you fear anymore? If you really, really want your questions answered, I know I'm missing a lot of questions, and I'll stay here forever if you guys want me to. Don't worry about it, because I only have a dog to look after, and she's sleeping like a sound puppy. But if you do, and if I miss your question, and I haven't gotten to it, come back with it. Don't worry about it. I'll get every one of you. God gets lots of coffee here. Maybe the book has in German language. Where do you get? I got it in Egypt. I got it in, what is that bazaar called? It's called, I can't remember. The biggest bazaar in Cairo. It's just beautiful. I went there all by myself. I was not afraid. How do you make yourself stay on earth? Well, I'm here. What's so hard about that? Staying on earth is here. Being on earth but not of earth, that's the hard part. Being in this world but not of this world, that's the hard part. I came on late, so I don't have the book titles in the comments. I will make a post on my profile, so I don't go back to them again, because I repeated them like 5 times already, and I don't want to. I want to answer your questions, you guys. I want you guys to leave with as much as possible here right now. But I will make a post, and I'm going to even give you, if you want, like the links. I don't know if I can post them, but we'll see. I'm going to write down the names of all the 5 books that I mentioned today. Meditation tips. I have 2 videos that I created with meditation in my profile. You do want to go through them because they are very well explained, and it will teach you, especially if you're a beginner. I meditate a minimum of 2, maybe 3 times a day, minimum of 50 minutes meditations, but I don't think that's possible right off the bat. Sometimes I do 2-3 hours meditations, but only because it's that stage of my life right now. This is where I am right now. I'm so connected to this divine presence that sometimes I just want to be there and stay there and not leave from there. Luckily, I have a dog who gets me out of the house every now and then. Sunt în limba română. Nu știu dacă sunt în limba. I don't know if the books are in Romanian, but I'm sure you can find them in the libraries in Bucharest. What do you think of transcendental meditation? I've been a transcendental meditator since 2016, and I think it's one of the best. In fact, if you ever read the document, the Gateway document that was released by the CIA, which is a gateway program that was created by the CIAs in the early 70s using the Monroe Institute, where they use binaural beats to bring the two hemispheres of the brain in sync. If you read the document, which I did, you will find out that the only thing that they compare this practice to is transcendental meditation. So it is one of the most powerful practices. If you listen to the two videos that I created and I posted, one of them that teaches you how to meditate with a mantra. I'm not teaching transcendental meditation because I am not a practitioner as in teacher of, I'm a practitioner but not a teacher, because you have to be a teacher and qualified and certified and whatever. But if you go through that meditation, it is very, very similar to transcendental meditation. I haven't fasted this year yet. I fasted 4 times last year. The first time 5 days, which was very hard. The second time 19 days. The third time 31 days. And the fourth time 11 days. I was trying to make it to 40 days, but a hurricane was coming during my 31 days. A hurricane was coming and I was so weak that I knew that if I need to clean outside in my backyard, I'm not going to make it physically. So I broke down and ate. It's okay. I didn't judge myself. I didn't blame myself. Maybe I'll do it another time. Maybe I won't. Who knows? But it is very, very good to fast, guys. If you can do a minimum of 3 days, you will see some massive changes in your body. And what I do is I water fast and tea. I make tea like plants, not caffeinated tea. And when I fast, I don't drink coffee. I see you wear an ankh. Yes, that's the symbol of eternal life. And I wear an ankh on my finger too. I got them both in Egypt in 2022. And I'm wearing it symbolically right now because it is the Hermetic uINversity, and the ring I like to wear it quite often. I love to wear crystals. Yeah, this is a yellow topaz, and this ring comes from Egypt. When I was 14 years old, well, maybe earlier than that, my father bought this ring for my mother, and she wore this ring all her life. And then a few years ago, she gave it to me. So I'm wearing it as a love ring between my mother and my father. This is a little scarab, which is another symbolic beetle from Egypt that symbolizes eternal life and defying the law of gravity, because if you know about the beetles, they don't fly, they levitate. This is a Moldavite, and if you wear a Moldavite, watch out because your life will change. And this is an opalite, which is a man-made opal. And I decided to wear a crystal made by men because why not? So, okay, are you Peruvian? I am Romanian, but my roots are actually Tartarian. You can see that I look a little Mongolian. My roots come from the Mongolian desert. Beautiful accent. It's Romanian, but it's not very, very Romanian, actually. Most Romanians have more of a Slavic accent, at least my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Greetings from Thailand. Thank you. How do you heal past life trauma, and how do you know what the traumas are? You know the traumas because you look at the patterns of your life and you look at what triggers you in your life, and you find out, like, for example, in my case, I realized that I was attracting people in my life that were unavailable. That's abandonment trauma. There is, if you want to learn more about traumas, you want to read a gentleman, he's Dr. Mario Martinez. You find his books on Amazon. But if you want to heal your traumas, read my book, Arcturian Healing. Let me bring it and show it to you because I don't know, for some reason I don't have it here. Oh, here, there's one. Okay, I just published it in 2024 in December. This book here is in my own experience. I ended up going to Arcturus. I met 12 Arcturian healers. They took me on Starship Athena and they healed my childhood trauma. and they gave me a strategy, a technique that is very simple. You can do it by yourself every day, and you can heal all your traumas. How did the Moldavite change your life? This is my third Moldavite, actually. Maybe my fourth, at least my third. One of them I lost, the other one the ring broke, and I still have this one. Every time I put it on and I wear it for a period of time, something massive changes. I did not wear this ring up until 2 months ago for a very long time. In fact, I didn't wear any rings for a long time. And massive things started to happen. As you can see, everything that's been happening in my life right now has been caused by this Moldavite. Well, crystals activated. They act as catalysts. You're an Arcturus starseed full of trauma. Well, you got to be healing yourself. That's it. You don't want to carry that bullshit, man. You don't want to carry that bullshit. I hugs to you, Marsha. Love your spirit. My spirit is your spirit, sister. How Egypt affected your spiritual life. Okay, so here's the story about Egypt. When thought came to me in 2022 during a mushroom journey, he said, I want you to go to Egypt and go to the second pyramid. Now, in my mind, I thought, okay, we're getting a mission. I'm getting a mission here. So I go there. I go to Egypt through a lot of synchronicities. I'm not going to go into detail right now about that. But I go to Egypt, and we were 90 people. I went with Nassim Haramein in October of 2022. And we were 90 people. So they split us in 3 groups. It was a full moon, and each group had to go in one of the pyramids, and then we kept on rotating. We spent an hour in each pyramid, every one of us. Every group spent an hour. We were too many to be in one pyramid, so we had to split. And somehow, without me choosing, I ended up in the group that went first in the second pyramid. And I was asked, or I mentioned it, and everybody said, why don't you do it? I guided a chakra opening meditation in the second pyramid. So during that meditation, there were some transformations happening. People came out crying, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go into detail. The point is that nothing else really happened, right? But see, my father worked for the energy company of Romania, and he worked in Egypt from when I was 8 years old till about 18 years old. He was gone, right? That's why I have abandonment trauma. He loved me, and there was no problem there, but I didn't grow up with a father. So, and he built all these high tension power towers in Egypt. So everywhere we were going, we were driving, we were in the bus or the boat or whatever we were, we could see these big towers everywhere. And every time I would see these towers, I would tell people, whoever I was sitting next to in the bus or whatever, I'd be like, you see that tower? My dad built it. You see that tower? My dad built it. And at one point, one of the guys said to me, oh, your dad built the energy grid. Now, if you know anything about ancient Egypt's mythology, all of these guys, all of these, like Isis and Ra and Osiris and Bastet and Horus and all of these very, very powerful figures, they're all myth, they're all the word, it skips me. The point that I'm trying to make, they're all actually called netters. They are energy grid workers, because what is everything? Everything is energy, you see. And the tapestry of creation is nothing but an intersecting grid, right? Oh, these guys are archetypes. At every intersection, there is an archetype. So they connect between each other because they influence the entire tapestry. We take from everybody. We take from all of these individual representations. So when this guy said to me, your dad was a grid maker, I immediately thought that my dad is God. And then I remember the words, I and my father are one. I didn't think anything of it until I got home. And when I got home, my girlfriend Virginia, who was looking after my dogs as I was gone, she was here, and I said, hey, don't go anywhere. Let me tell you all kinds of stories while we were here. So that night she stayed over, and we were talking and all that. So at that time, I was smoking pot, and I haven't been a pot smoker, but when I started to smoke pot, sometimes in, let's say, 2021 or something, I was smoking periodically, every now and then. I haven't smoked pot in probably more than a year now, but at that time, I really wanted to smoke some pot. And I was like, because I really felt like I was so relieved, and I kind of wanted to get some. And by the way, pot is also really good for some of these openings, but I am really against using it long term or using it repeatedly, because it numbs you and it cuts your drive to do, to become, to, so again, I'm not advising anybody to do anything. So, but I kind of, and probably I shouldn't even talking about this, because this is how we get banned by some of these platforms. But anyways, to make a long story short, I get home and I'm relaxed and I'm thinking to myself, I started to tell my girlfriend how, what happened in Egypt and all that stuff. So I was telling her about my father, and for the first time in my life, because even though I loved my father and we had a good life and all that stuff, I never really knew my father so well. But along the way, after my father passed away, that's when I actually started to know him better. So as I'm talking to my girlfriend, I was like, I found myself telling her about how amazing my father was. And then suddenly I go to the bathroom, and you know how you're in the bathroom and you get the most brilliant ideas. It dawned on me why I had to go to Egypt. And I came out and I said to her, hey, I know why I went to Egypt. Because live visibility restricted. Can you guys still see me? Give me some thumbs up or something. So, yes, okay, good, perfect. They just told me that there's some kind of restriction. Got it, thank you so much. So I said to my girlfriend, I know why I went to Egypt, because, and listen to this, and this is for everyone who has some kind of a riffraff with their parents. I realized that I had to go to Egypt to meet my earthly father, to know who my earthly father was, so I can understand that I and my earthly father are one. Because until I understood that I and my earthly father are one, I would not understand the meaning of I and my divine, my godly father are one. You see what I'm saying? What we all have to understand, that we are our parents. We are these roots that created us. So that means we have to find a way to heal our childhood trauma, so we can love them, so we can give them the love that they might have not given us. That's the story about going to Egypt. I know I went on a tangent there, but let me go with the comments again. Great job. I love it, but it's once in a while for me. Yes. If you can do it once in a while, I'm good with it. Like, you have some friends, hang out. It's good. It's nice. It's beautiful. I don't even take gummies anymore. I don't need it. I'm so fucking high all the time. Like, high with life. I'm high on God, you guys. I'm high on God. Oh, you guys are giving me gifts and stuff. I don't even know how this system works, to be honest with you. Oh, I left out what was one of the most important things about this Hermetic uINversity, you guys. It's free, and it's going to remain free. It's free. You guys are going to learn everything that I know for free. Stay with it. There is a reason why you're here. I'm going to take that back. It's not free. Here's what I want for you guys to do instead. Because everything is energy, and energy has to be reciprocal. Yeah, if I give you something, you have to give me something in return for it to work in your life. Here's what you're going to give me in return. You take what I teach you and teach others. I don't care if you take my content, you learn it, you write it, you read it, you share it with the world. I don't care. That's not about who does and who becomes and who is on top and who. No, I want you guys to share everything that I teach you about everything that I know. Are you with me? Are you with me? My book, you can buy it on Amazon, Arcturian Healing. Where it will always happen here. So here's how the Hermetic uINversity will work. I will make a video every week. I will post it on Monday, and then on Tuesday, and usually in these videos, I will give you some prompts for shadow work, because this is not learning. This is learning who we are. We're going to go inward. We're going to heal your trauma along the way. This is not, you're not going to school. You're going home. You're going home. That's what you're doing here. We're going home here together. Magic Bella. Bella, did you leave a comment on Amazon? Is it you who read my book and healed a lamp? Speak to me, Bella. Holy cow, I must have found you. Oh my God, oh my God. I've been looking for you. You must send me a private message, and you must, oh my God, I'm melted. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for that comment. You guys, Bella used my book, used the teachings from this book and healed a lamp in her breast. Is it okay to say it? She left a feedback on Amazon, and I didn't know who she was. I want to send you a book and when you send me a message with your address, and send me a message with a question that you have in your life. What is it that you want to know? And I'm going to channel a message from the Arcturian Council of Elders, and I will send it to you from my heart to your heart, because I'm so grateful. I'm dying and unable to get better. I'm scared, and I pray I reincarnate and get another chance at life. You won't. This is it. That's your life. And you're not dying. You're just thinking you're dying. So just imagine yourself alive. Imagine yourself that you're living in the most beautiful way, and feel the feeling of this wish fulfilled. It's not available in Canada. I believe it is, actually. If it's not available in print, you can definitely get it as an ebook. So in Kindle, it's definitely, because it made it as an international bestseller when I launched it on Kindle. So therefore, I know you have it, because friends of mine in Canada got it already. My father's dying, but it was heavy to match, difficult. It was heavy. Yes, a father dying is very difficult. My father passed away, and we had an unresolved there was an unresolved story. Like, I never told him how much I loved him, and he lingered around. And you're going to learn in here about discarnates, and you're going to learn that it's time to let go of all of these people who have you have unfinished business with. Let them go, let them free their souls. What's the book title? It's called Arcturian Healing. Magic Bella. I need to screenshot this. I'm not going to screenshot it because I don't want to mess something up. In case you forget, I will reach out to you. Magic Bella. God, I'm so grateful to you. I bought the book today and I saw that review. You did? Awesome. Awesome, Ali. Thank you. Thank you, Bella. How do we navigate what's going on in the US and not give in to fear? Well, fear and love cannot coexist. Fear is of the devil. Love is of God. When in 2021, now, we all know what happened in 2020, right? I dived into every single rabbit hole there is. Like, I'm talking everything. The only thing I probably didn't look into is the flat earth, because I'm like, I just can't do it anymore. It's just too much. It's too much. It was painful. It was scary. I was in agony. So I woke up one morning in February of 2021, and I realized that I'm in agony. Like, my heart was palpitating, and I talked to myself. You talk to yourself. You gotta talk to yourself. So I talked to myself, and I said, talk to me, honey. What's going on? What are you feeling? How are you feeling? And I said, well, eventually we boiled it down. I'm afraid. So I said, okay, now let me ask you this question. What is fear? Who does fear feed? By the way, you must watch the video that I made about the matrix, because the matrix feeds on your fear. So I asked myself, who does fear feed? Now, at that time, I didn't have God in my life yet, but I did know that fear feeds the devil, if the devil ever existed. I never believed that, but it was kind of a concept that I had in my mind. So I said, fear feeds the negative, the people who are trying to keep us in fear, the media, all the stuff, right? And who does love feed? Love feeds our consciousness. Love feeds growth. Love feeds, I didn't have God. Love feeds the universe. Love feeds beauty. Love feeds oneness. Okay, I understood oneness. And I said, if you stay in fear, who do you feed? I said, if I stay in fear, I'm going to feed these negative entities. I'm going to feed the evil, the devil. And I said, and then the other question I said to myself, can fear and love coexist? And I said, no. Then what do you need to do? And I was like, I literally like a dog I did like this. Ooh. I got out of bed, like right now I can feel it. I got goosebumps. I got out of bed. Oh my God, I've been doing it to myself. And in that moment, like, listen to you guys. I'm going to tell you what I did. I was in so much fear. I bought one of these signs that said, no trespassing. Violators will be prosecuted. And I plastered it on my front porch. The poor UPS guy who would come in and deliver my Amazon or things, right? He would have to look at it every day going, should I touch the handle or should I not touch the handle? Is she waiting with a shotgun behind the door or something? I got a gun and I loaded and I put it in my nightstand and I filled my pantry with food, you guys. This is what fear does. Fear actually dumbs you down. Because what happens? Fear happens to us when we are in fight or flight. What happens to our physiology in fight or flight? All the blood in our body drains into your arms and legs. Why? Because you need your arms and legs to run, to fight, right? Which means if all the blood goes goes into your arms and legs, what happens? Goes out of your blood. That means your oxygen into your head, goes out of your head. The blood that goes into your arms and legs leaves your brain and it leaves you stupid. That's why when you stay in fear, you get sick, you get manipulated, you get all kinds of horrible things happen to you. But your cheek and neck skin and really tight and glowing. Not your arm, but your cheek and neck skin are really tight and glowing. How do we love parents that harm us when we are around them? Okay, I'm going to tell you something very, very interesting about parents, and this is very, very important to understand. Parents who, when my mother loved me, she didn't love me the way I wanted to be loved. My mother was very critical, very judgmental, very hard on me. My mother never showed me love unless I performed. I learned that I needed to be at my highest always if I needed to be loved, if I wanted to be loved by everyone around me. So that's why I went the extra mile all the time. I walked on pins and needles just to not piss people off, so because I wanted to be loved, because that's what I learned from my mother. And there were many things I did not know from my mother. You see, when I got a divorce in 2019, I brought my mother here and I was talking to her and I told her, and I realized how critical she was, because that's her nature. And at one point I said to her, Mother, do you hear yourself, how judgmental you are and how critical and all that? And I said, you know, it was easy. No wonder I attracted a husband just like you. I said, it was easy to divorce my husband. What do I do with you? And I said, Mother, you're fired. And she started to laugh. And I said, no, I'm serious. You're fired. She said, what do you mean? I said, here's what we're going to do. If you want to be my best friend, I'm more than happy to be your best friend. But here's what best friends do. Best friends do not butt into the other person's life unless they are asked for advice. Now, therefore, if you want to be my best friend, I'll be more than happy to share this relationship with you. But you cannot tell me anymore what I need to do, what I should do, what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, what this, what that. Do you agree? She goes, am I losing any benefits? I said, no, you're not. You're still going to be looked after and all that stuff. She goes, okay, I'm fine. Do you know that my mother actually did exactly what I asked her to do? But that wasn't the story that I wanted to tell you. What I wanted to tell you is this. In that same conversation we had that day, I told my mother that I wish she would have shared with me more about life, more about intimacy, more about how to have a good relationship. Because growing up in the communist Romania, you were born to look at I'm trying not to use the word so then the feed doesn't go busted, right? What happens in a couple, right? The things that happen in a couple, I've always been a little bit reluctant because of the programming that I was growing up with, right? So I said to my mother, I wish you would have told me, Mother, how to feel and how to be and how to this and how to do this. And I had no clue about everything. They didn't teach us in school. I was not the kind of girl who I would, talk to other girls about stuff like that. I never had an S encounter until I was 23 years old. Like, I hope you get my drift. I'm trying not to be explicit, but to make you still understand. And I said, I wish you would have taught me. Do you know what my mother's answer was? She said, do you think that I knew? I started to cry. Because I've been blaming and I judging my mother, which means doing exactly what she was doing to me all my life secretly, because I never told her to her face. All my life not realizing that she didn't know. So when you ask how to love your parents, know this: they only give you what they have. If that's how they were loved by their parents, that's why trauma is deep rooted in ancestry, right? If your parent was not loved the way she needed, if my mother's mother didn't love her the way she needed to be loved, that means her love bucket wasn't filled. That means what can she give me if she doesn't have it in her bucket? Does it make sense? So find a way to love them, accept them. It's their first time at life too, you guys. I'm so happy to hear, Mandy. That's 1,000% right, Bandley. Yes, what a powerful experience to share with us. So happy you were here to hear it, you guys. So happy. Listen, and then I started to think about how my mother was brought up. She was born in 1944 during the end of Second World War. They had to be refugees in Ukraine. They had no food. It was horrible. And here I am pretending that you didn't love me right. No, I healed myself so I can break that chain of curses in my entire ancestry chain, in line. So you can do it too. That's why we're here in this uINversity, so we can heal ourselves. And when we heal ourselves, our ancestors are thanking us. I believe in reincarnation? You have to watch the 2 or 3 videos I posted about reincarnation. They are really powerful. And short answer, I don't. No, shorter answer is I don't believe in anything, but reincarnation is not the way you understand it. Break the curse. Exactly. Break the curse. How should we raise children? Let them be by themselves. Give them as much love you can possibly give them. Don't tell them no. I put a video somewhere related to, because the common concept is that we are born without a memory, and that's not true. We have all the memory of who we are when we're born, because if you actually, some children, you're able to get it out of them. But what happens is we get programmed from the age of 0 to the age of 7 or 8 years old, when our brain is in theta state. So the frequency that's the hypnotic state. That theta state is hypnotic state, which means you can program kids simply just by they're watching everything you do, they're listening to everything you say, and they don't judge, but they take it all in. They learn it all, you see? So what happens is everything they came with, the wisdom that they came with, gets wiped out. No, I'm going to take that back. No, it doesn't get wiped out. It gets covered by all of this clutter of new information, of new behavior, of new beliefs that they get from school, from parents, from church, from the other kids in school. Then they watch TV. Tell a vision, tell a vision, but not your vision, somebody else's vision. Stop watching TV, you guys. Stop watching TV. So yeah, so kids come with all this information already. They know exactly who they are. So and I know one thing for sure, and this is something that was unlocked inside of me. If you raise a child in a community where the child is never being told no, that child is illumined. Your daughter is not reincarnating, but your daughter is right here with you right now. You can feel her because the soul doesn't go anywhere. Please listen, please watch my videos. I am so sorry that happened to you, my beloved Melissa. Okay, here's one thing for you parents here, because you're parents and reaching out with questions about parenting. I'm not a parent, but of course I have wisdom about that because it's the same thing. It's all the same wisdom. I want you to know one thing very, very powerful. Do not worry about your children, because everything is energy. And you are going to find out right in this very moment that your worry can cause harm to your child. You think that you're being a good parent because you worry about them, but in fact you can cause them harm. Why? Because everything is energy. So your thoughts, those thoughts of, oh my God, I hope he doesn't get in an accident. Oh my God, he's hanging out with those kids and they're smoking, they're drinking, and they're this and they're that. Well, guess what's going to happen? Those words, those thoughts that you're having, those words that you're putting out all have energy. And what is energy doing? Energy goes into the quantum field, which is right here where we are. And looks for a matching frequency. A matching frequency is what? An action that matches those words. You think them, and you speak them, and you feel them. And then these frequencies, these waves, these sinus waves, go into the field and go, let me look. Oh, there's one. Okay, so next thing you know, he gets in an accident. Or next thing you know, she gets in some kind of trouble. And guess what? As much as you worry about it, now your mind is going to be reinforced. You see, I was right to be worried. But what if you caused it? I'm not saying it to blame you or to judge you or to make you feel guilty. Please do not. But just take back any word. And if it happens, here's the best part you can do, the best thing you can possibly do for yourself and for your children. Because it's hard to let go of this habit. It's very hard. The moment it happens, don't judge yourself, don't blame yourself, and don't worry that, oh my God, I already put these words in the field, what's going to happen? No. You know what you do? You say, I invoke the law of forgiveness, and rephrase those words or that whatever those thoughts were. Okay? Let me know you're good with that. There are no mistakes. I was just getting a message from my higher self about this. Yes. The same thing. What music do I listen to? I only listen to either frequencies 369, or I listen to some Mozart, Vivaldi. I listen to, there are some songs that I really love that put me in a little spirit. Like I love to listen to, whenever I feel a little down or something, I listen to that song called Jerusalema, and I always that Jerusalema, and you always see me go no. The other one that I really love is Rasputin. That always brings me into Ra Ra Rasputin whenever I feel like a warrior. Ra Ra Rasputin. That's a very old song. You can tell my age by sharing that about Rasputin being a Russian healer, but the song is by Bonnie M. I have a few of the oldies that I listen to, but I really don't listen to pop music anymore. I just completely walked away from it because of the frequency, because it bothers me. You just danced right on, Allie. Rasputin, baby. I love it. Cool. Love this sharing. I love 70s. Yeah, me too. It was so much purer, right? Antonia, Tyler, just got the number 3 gifter badge. Yay! Don't know what it means, but I appreciate it and I'll take it. Thank you so much. I love it. Why am I missing my ex all of a sudden? I was the one who broke up. Because you don't love yourself, my beloved. You don't love yourself. If you love yourself, you don't miss anybody. Anybody can just simply walk away from your life without a worry, because you already have what's important in your life, which is you. I passed 2 years ago and I felt lost. What advice do you have for me? Love yourself. Love yourself. Do what your heart desires. Live in joy. Live in bliss. Go play, go dance, go sing, go do karaoke, go, I don't know, clay, painting, go meet some people, go play, what is it called? Pickleball, whatever. Just do some things that will get you out of the house. Don't stay in the house. Don't stay in the house. Love yourself. Put yourself first no matter what. Yes, follow your bliss. Follow your bliss. That's all you have to do. When I say that, I don't mean that, okay, let me make a list of what's my bliss. Yeah, you do that as well. But following your bliss means every single time you have a decision to make, every single moment of the day, ask yourself, which one would bring me bliss? Which decision, like, should I do this or should I do that? They want me to go and meet with them and hang out with them, but I don't really want, because they always talk about other people, whatever. But I also don't want them to think that I'm not, social and like we have these things going in our heads, right? But what would you really like to do? Well, I would much rather stay home, maybe get in a hot tub and take a book, listen to some music, relaxing, maybe go out and just have dinner by myself. It's simple. Do what brings you bliss, which is not hanging out with the people you don't want to hang out with just because you're afraid they're going to think of you something badly. Just do this is what self-love is. To be able to say no. Learn to say no. Learn to say no. It's the most powerful word in the world. Just say it gracefully. Hey, it's not working out for me today. Do not give explanations. You don't have any obligation to give any explanation to anyone. Astral travel. I will do a video about that on astral travel, but I don't want to address it right now. I hope it's okay with you, because we're kind of doing more like Hermetic principles, where some of these principles, the way they interact with life. When I meditate, is there something I can do? Continue to fall asleep during meditation. Don't worry about it. Just do it. Just do it. Your body will eventually accommodate to the whole new way of looking at things. Just go ahead and do it. No big deal. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it takes. Don't worry about it. What time is class? So my plan is to post the video on a video. Every Monday I'm going to post a video. Or maybe I'll post it on Sunday, depending if I have the time. But at the latest on Monday, for you guys to have a chance to listen to the video and write down, do your journaling on the questions that I'm going to give you, because every single video about the Hermetic uINversity, it's going to have some prompts for shadow work. Do your shadow work, because what I want you to do is to bring those questions in the class. And the class, and I don't like to call it class, the meeting, the whatever, let's come up with a different term so we don't have to call it class. The meeting that we'll have live will be on Tuesdays at 7:30. How can I always fall asleep? Okay. Yes, me too. Like I used to. Nowadays, I don't fall asleep anymore. I literally just go into another dimension. But when I used to fall asleep, my God, and even just 10 minutes if I fell asleep, it was the most restful sleep ever. Thank you for your time. Dilek, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. See you next Tuesday. Oh, that doesn't really sound very good, does it? I'm funny. I guess I have a sense of humor too. The conversation, sessions. The session. I like the session. The session, yeah. We have a session. So next session will be Tuesday at 7:30 in the evening, Eastern time. But know that I'm still here. I can go for at least an hour or two if you guys want to continue to give me questions. I'm here for you. Lisa Marie, right? Funny. I'm Romanian, so English language is my second language. But somehow, because I was married to an American man, who, by the way, I love and respect, because he was part of my life for 20 years. He was part of my life, but he was a funny guy. Like he always had a really good joke all the time. So I learned a lot of stuff from him. So sometimes I just come up with really funny lines, and they're all coming from him. And sometimes I actually do say, I give credit to my ex. I thought the same joke. I absolutely love your humor. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. I love your art. Thank you. I love your art. And thank you, Mystical Eyes. Good to see you again. How do you know one is doing the right thing? Because they come from a place of love. I'll tell you something really cute. So this morning, I haven't been sleeping very well lately, and I'm not complaining. I'm not saying it in a complaining type of way, because ever since this Thursday when I posted that video about those 15 things, my life just changed in a magical way, and I'm so grateful to every single one of you. It's like, oh my God, what's going on? Because all I've been doing is like a full-time job to respond to everybody. I'm trying to respond to everybody. I'm trying to give everybody a little piece of wisdom so they can take it home and change themselves, right? Change, because I know that if you're listening to me, if you're watching me, and if you're asking questions, that means you want to learn. I'm not trying to change you. You want to change you. So that means I'm trying to give you as much as I can. I don't have any other responsibility. God was good to me and helped me be in a situation where I can actually don't have to go to work. And, you know, I'm not saying that I'm, you know, lavishly doing everything that I want to do in life. I'll be there one day, but for now, I'm very happy. I'm very happy and I'm very grateful for everything. But that means that I can be with you and give you all that I have so I can help you get going. Like I'm basically pushing you off the hill. Like, you know, when you just get off the fence, you know, that's what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing with you. So everything changed for me. So I haven't been sleeping a lot lately. So last night I fell asleep at about 1:30 at night. Woke up. I always wake up at 7 because my girl Gypsy, my dog Gypsy, has a wristwatch, so she wakes me up. So I did whatever I needed to do for her. I made my coffee and I went back to bed to scroll, to answer messages, and to drink my coffee. And about 8 o'clock or something, I said, oh man, I'm tired. So I fell asleep, and I fell asleep till noon, which I was so happy about it. But I didn't drink my coffee. So now, I know, I got up, I showered, I did whatever I needed to do. I was tidying up, and then I started to tidy up. I said, let me do the dishes. And I'm like, oh, let me get the coffee cup from my bedroom. I get the coffee cup almost full of coffee. I literally only had like a couple of sips. So now stay with me on this one, because it's not trivial that I'm sharing this story, because you want to ask yourself how to keep your frequency high. You keep your frequency high, you keep your vibration high by always acting from a place of love. Okay, so now here's the story. I'm walking with my cup from the bedroom to the kitchen, and I get to right here, and this is I have a little table here, and my kitchen is over there, and I'm walking with the coffee cup, and then suddenly I pass this area, and I suddenly go, oh, maybe I was going to dump it, because I don't drink coffee after 12 o'clock. Because otherwise I can't sleep. And it was already like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I was heading to dump the coffee. I was feeling a little weird. Oh, I'm dumping a full cup of coffee, but it's okay, no big deal. It's fine. I'm not doing it every day, so I can live with it. So I'm taking my coffee towards the kitchen sink when suddenly a thought came, and I said, oh, maybe I shouldn't throw it away. Maybe I should keep it and drink it. Because tonight I'm having my live, and if I don't drink it, maybe I'm going to be tired. So listen to this. So I came back with the coffee, and I was going to put it right here on my little table. Before I put it down, it dawned on me. Oops, let me ask myself. Drinking the coffee, does it come from a place of love, or does it come from a place of fear? And I immediately did the math in my head, and I said, no, it's coming from a place of fear, because if it was coming from a place of love, I would have respected the commitment that I made to myself to not drink coffee after 12 o'clock, because it's going to keep me too awake and I can't sleep very well at night. But drinking the coffee at 2 o'clock in the afternoon meant that I'm afraid that I'm not going to be powerful enough to do this live. And then that was my answer. That means drinking the coffee is coming from a place of love. Drinking the coffee is coming from a place of fear, not from a place of love. So I said, thank you, God. And I took the coffee and I dumped it in the kitchen sink. You see? So the reason why I'm giving you this example, thank you, Ali. I appreciate that you like this. The reason why I'm giving you this example is because it's like choosing our frequency is exactly the way you listen to many of you, if you're very young, you don't remember those transistor radios where you had to turn the dial. You see, you go and you have all of those, noises, and then eventually you find the right frequency and you listen to whatever you wanted to listen, right? It's exactly the same way. We go like this, like we go a little to the left and a little to the right, and we just like, we kind of like, we hedge our way into the correct frequency, you see? But the way we hedge it is by constant making little choices, little choices, little choices, little choices, little choices. Because you see, if I would have drank my coffee, I can't sleep tonight, and by 4 o'clock in the morning I say to myself, you idiot, why did you drink the coffee? I would never say that to myself, because I never speak badly to myself. But some people would, and I used to back in the day. When you do that, you're actually causing yourself more harm by blaming yourself and by judging yourself, by shaming yourself, by guilting yourself, than the little thing that you did by not being able to sleep. Okay, let me move on to this. But you get it. It's fine-tuning. It's fine-tuned. I don't trust YouTube meditations. Can you tell us the best way to meditate and connect with our inner? I put 2 videos about meditation on my channel here on TikTok, how to learn how to meditate. You don't need music to meditate. The only meditations that I've been doing recently related to they are the gateway meditations, but those are different because those use binaural beats, and you have to have those in order to bring your frequency, your 2 hemispheres of the brain in sync, you see, and then reach higher states of consciousness and all that stuff. And I will tell you, I'll be very honest with you, and we will always be very honest with you. I do believe that what's been happening to me in the past 2 months, because something happened to me in the past 2 months, and what's been happening to me in the past 2 months is caused by those tapes. And it's a good thing. It's an amazing thing. So if you want to do it, you'll find them on archive, on the archive.